Hello, here the problem number 7, and here we have an array of unsorted integers and we have to find out, not find out, but print all the leaders in this array. Leaders are the numbers uh, who are the greatest according to the other numbers from the right side. So let me explain you from on each element. So we have this array and we are taking the first element for example of this array, and looking through other elements on the right side of this number. So for example this from number, and we're looking to the right and check if it's greater than other numbers on the right side. We see that there is another number which is greater than our first element, which is 16, and so we can say that this number is not leader. So we go to the next element and checking if it's greater than the other elements on the right side. It is, so we're printing 17. Go to the next element, we check if it's greater. We see that it's not because there is a 5 on the right side, so we're not printing. We go to the next element, it's also not leader because it's still less than the 5, which is also on the right side. We now pick 5 and check if it's greater than the other elements on the right side. It is, because it's just one left number, which is 2. Also, last element always leader, so shall we print 17, 5 and 2 for this particular example. So how we're gonna do this? In my approach, we will start from the end because it's not specified like in what order to print leaders, so I will just prefer to print it from the end. So what I will do, I will take and print, let me write it down again, this array. So I will just print last number and we'll go to the next element, and also I will need a max variable where I will put my last element, and I will go to the next element and check if it's greater than my max value. If it is, I will print this element and I will reset my max value to this element, which is 5. Then I will go to the next element, check if it's greater than my max. It's not, and I will go to the next, check again, it's not. I go to the next 17, I see that it's greater than my max value, so I'm printing my 17 and resetting my max value to 17. I'm going to next my first element of the array and compare with my max value. Since it's less than my max value, at this point I will just end up my for loop. So let's write a function. Since I'm not gonna return any output, I will just define it. It's a void, so I will call it print leaders. Input will be an array of integers. So I will use for loop, and my for loop will be from the end of array. So it will be, my I will be array length -1, and I will run my for loop until it will be equal to 0, and each time I will just decrement it. So yeah, and at the beginning I need to declare my max value, which initial value will be just integer's most minimum value. So here I will always compare it with my element from an array. So if my element from an array is greater than my max value, so then I will just print this element. And reset my max value to with this element from an array. Yeah, that's it. And so I don't think that I need to test my example because I already explained it at the beginning of the video. So I will just try to calculate what is the time complexity of this code. So I will say, because we're using for loop and we go through each element in the array, so it's just n number of operations, so the time complexity is order of n, and space is just constant because we're defining one variable max value, which is not a data structure.